All right. Yes, it's good to see you though. I haven't seen you in a little bit though.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get started though. Let's get started. Hey yo, welcome back to the 280 Plus podcast. I'm your host, Lowe's Def. And before we get started, man, I'd like to just thank the audience. We just hit a big milestone, just probably like quietly, like last night or whatever. We are at, the channel is at 100K views, you know what I'm saying? So, I gotta, clap it up for myself for that, you know what I mean? I appreciate the audience, everybody that's tapping in, all of my guests, you know what I mean? Because my guests are pivotal in making this possible as well. And yo, we rocking and rolling. Most recently I was just at DJ Smash's birthday party, and he had DJ Jazzy Jeff there, and I did some mini interviews there, so that footage will be trickling out pretty soon. And so I need y'all to tap in. If you're watching, I need you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and let's keep this rolling, man. But I got a real special guest here tonight. All right. Can you introduce yourself, young lady?
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Delia Pabon. I am the executive director of the Parliament Arts Organization. It's a nonprofit arts organization that does a lot of great things for York City and York County. And I am also the owner of Creative Catalyst Consulting, which is a freelance business consultant for small businesses.
All right, hold on, tell me. Jackson, what's up, man? You need something? I'm recording. What's up? Come here. What's up? What do you need? I know I didn't. I should have told you, but I was doing it early because I know you get hyped when I'm recording a podcast. You think you could stay up late, but this is a little bit earlier, so I don't know if you're gonna be staying up late. But what's up? What you need? You need some drink? You need something to eat? What's up? Like, where to eat? What's up? What you need? You already. You go. Well, we had Chick-fil-A. What's up? You hungry? You hungry again?
Yeah, but I can wait.
You go. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right. You can have some. You can take some of them Tic Tacs if you want. Don't go crazy.
4?
Yeah, you can have 4. Yeah. Yo, my son is he's a mint fiend, bro. Like he'll get a box of Tic Tacs and he'll eat the whole joint in once, like just like 2 hours. And I'm like, Jackson, why are you eating mints like this? And he's like, I can't help it. Like,
Drop an Altoid in his mouth and see what happens.
I know, yeah, he like Mentos, he like Tic Tacs, but he'll probably stop
He's
eating
not ready
mints.
for the refreshing.
Yeah,
Altoid.
the real mints. Yeah, so that's a classic. I heard the door because I'm in my basement, so I heard the door creaking. I'm like, what's going on? So, but anyway, we'll get back to it. So, all right, so yes, the Parliament, man, yeah, you guys are doing a lot of good things in the city, and we're gonna get into all of that. I feel like I've had this podcast has had a couple of different people that have worked with the Parliament at some point in time, whatever, and has moved on to different things. Some people that are still currently with you. So we got the boss lady of the Parliament tonight. So that's what's up, man. And like I said, we're gonna get into all that. I know she got some announcements, you know what I mean, because the King Street Jam is upon us, you know what I mean, it's real close, and we're gonna let her share all that type of stuff. But before we get into all that though, Delia, like, would you consider yourself a shopper? Do you like to shop? I think I know the answer to that just cause, but go ahead. What do you think? Like, are you a shopper?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It'll depend. So you cannot put me inside of like a Ross or a Target because the bill, it just like racks up. And then the Amazon cart is constantly full, whether it's being checked out or not. There's always something. But I prefer to thrift. So I prefer vintage stores, antiquing, all of that, because then I feel more socially conscious, and I'm not buying from the big box store. And then I have this cycle of I buy, I donate, I buy, I donate.
Oh, like reuse, recycle,
Yep.
Okay, all right. There ain't nothing wrong with that, whatever. Because I was gonna ask you about some of your go-to stores, and I had a feeling that you were gonna say Target. I just had a feeling, like, you know what I mean, because all ladies love Target. Like, all right, tell me first, what is the allure of Target? Because obviously the two biggest, and we're going to talk about these big box retailers in a little bit, but what is the allure of Target? Like, why do y'all prefer Target over Walmart?
Well, step one, I take 2 steps in Target and there's a Starbucks. So it's a
Ah,
beautiful thing to
they
have
get
my
you right
fancy
there.
coffee. Oh, they know what
Ah,
they're doing. But then directly across the Starbucks is usually their really cheap stuff, like their
okay.
cheap decorations, and it changes out by season. So it's like I'm in a whole different store when
Yeah.
I hit the very beginning of it. And then I do my business shopping. That's when I go to the rest of the aisles and spend the heavy money.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the front of it, it's like going to a cheap bar. Like I can eat
Ah.
well. I can decorate
Jackie
my whole
B's,
house
right?
on
Go to Jackie
$20.
B's.
Jackie B's, get yourself a steak. That's exactly what it
Right,
is. So
right.
they
Get that
they
steak
suck
meal
you
for five
in.
dollars and get,
Yep.
a good amount of drinks. You out of there for $20. Good. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
You get a dozen wings and you spend like $3.95. Those are
right.
the best meals. But that's what Target does. They suck you in with the cheap deals, but it's all good
Ah,
stuff. It looks
okay.
great. I'm looking in my office now and there's probably a bunch of stuff from Target.
So all right, so really, but really, it's only that section that's cheap because Target is not cheap at all. Like, you know what I mean, like. So I was just in there the other day, and I don't mind Target. I live closer to a Walmart, whatever. So I go to Walmart a little bit more for convenience. But I was near Target, so I was like, I got to get some essentials, and I was like, yo, like everybody be talking about Target, and like, not that I've never shopped there before, but I was like, damn, like we talking about on certain items, we talking about 25%, 30% markup, compared to the same product I could get at Walmart. And I was like, yo, what is the allure? And then, because women always say, don't put me in a Target because I go in for deodorant and come out spending $200. And I'm like, yeah, because y'all just, and I don't know, women, y'all just buy. I don't know, y'all just consume. You guys are the best consumers, you know what I'm saying? But like, I don't know if it's haphazard in some ways.
I mean, you think about it, it's like most women, you want to look nice, you want to smell nice, you want to take care of yourself. And Target is the low cost quality version of it.
Okay.
Walmart, I go there because of um, a lack of options for
Ah.
for the accessibility of their hours. But I don't think I'm gonna go there and buy a really cute dress for the summer.
Oh,
I
oh,
do
true. Yeah, yeah.
I do that at Target. But
All
if
right.
I need a quick, like pack of socks or something and I'm by a Walmart, sure, why not? I'll
Sure.
give them a
Okay.
try.
Yeah, and you never know. Like, some Walmarts are ghetto as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the one I go to, it's like a Hispanic Walmart. You know what I mean? Like, they got way more Hispanic aisles than I've ever seen in any Walmart before. And like, almost all the workers don't speak English. Like, the ones that stock shelves and stuff like that. So if you ever need help finding something, you gotta be bilingual. You know what I mean? Like in Lancaster, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So,
I
but
wouldn't do well there.
yeah, you probably you said you wouldn't or you would.
No, I would not.
Come on, I know you got a little Spanish in you. You
No.
know what I'm saying? No.
The only thing Spanish about me is my parents. The culture has unfortunately not been passed down much to me. I'm very much Americanized.
Ah, okay. So the reason I brought that up though was because obviously, yeah, I mean, we all know that the economy is just in a state right now. Inflation is out of control, whatever. And actually, like, there's some recent reports from the two biggest, retailers are Walmart and Target, and they actually missed their mark. They missed their mark with earnings, whatever. So. And what I read was they were saying that how we feel like certain things are more expensive, and obviously that's inflation. You know what I mean? Like, when your dollar doesn't go as far. But they basically said that if you think prices increase, wait till the summer, or wait, like, it's coming. Like, it's not like they feel like they've been kind of holding back a little bit, and like we're gonna get like the big increases. And they also noticed that, like, people aren't buying discretionary things anymore. You know what I mean? Like, or as much. They have like a big inventory of like things you don't need, and people are kind of gearing towards the essentials, whatever. So, like, obviously, what I mean, we all are in this together in terms of like experiencing the economy and things like that. We know gas prices are high, whatever. What are some things recently that you noticed that, like, you've had to like kind of cut back on? You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of your spending.
Yeah, I mean, I can just relate that to just being the director of the parliament because we're a small business. I I Instacart things.
Yeah.
I'm going to Target, like all of my toilet paper, my paper towels, like Clorox wipes, all of that. We go to the store. I'm not
Yeah.
a big business where I can just go and buy cases of it and have it shipped to me.
Yeah.
So we notice that whenever we have to stock up for this building, and then there are certain things that we don't stock up on because there's just not a use for it. Like, I'm not going to buy paper bags to put people's things inside of when they purchase it, because that price goes up too much and I can't justify the spend.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would rather my employees continue to be compensated than us have unnecessary things like, highlighters and notebooks and all of that.
Yeah.
Now, I
Yeah.
will say, like, in my home, it has not impacted me as much, but I am a very smart spender.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I keep a very tight budget, and that stems from, like, I went from being in a relationship and being a 2-income household to just being a single income household. And I had
Okay.
to watch every dollar and make sure I spent it right, saved money, and had that extra cushion. So I do save pretty well, and I do watch what I spend. So I try to limit those trips to Target, and I try to only order what I need
Okay.
and go in with a plan. Doesn't always work that way. It
No.
really
No. Yeah.
doesn't.
Probably not. Yeah.
Last
Yeah.
weekend, like that, we're not going to discuss that, but last weekend was a weekend,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I just try to be smart about it. But fortunately, it has not impacted my day-to-day life at home.
Okay.
But I definitely see it being a small business owner
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
running the parliament. And
Ye-
I don't know if people realize that. Like, when they say, like, oh man, your prices went up. Yes, because your
Yeah.
prices went up for different things, and I have to pay people for that.
Exactly.
Or having insurance has cost us more now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just, it all trickles into it.
Yeah, and I think, and that's the thing. A lot of people are gonna have to start buckling down. I don't think people have felt it yet. Like, obviously they feel it at the pump, whatever, and they notice maybe certain items are starting to cost more. But like I said, like these, if the big retailers, the ones that they can kind of squeeze margins a little bit. If they're saying that it might get ugly, like I think a lot of people are gonna be in for a rude awakening. Like, one thing, for me, it's obviously the pump, whatever. And I try not to look at the gas prices. I just pay it, whatever. And I need premium for my car. So, like, when people say, oh, gas is this, I'm like, I wish gas was that price, because I'm paying like 30-40 cents more, whatever. But is there a product though that you noticed that, like, yo, really went up in price, and you're like, well, what the heck is going on? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is there anything that you noticed, like, at all? Like,
I honestly can't. I don't look at a lot of tags, only because, the reason I say that, it's not
ballin',
because I got the money to spend it. No, it's because what I'm purchasing is a necessity. So I
okay,
know I have
okay,
to buy it.
you gotta
And that's
buy
just
it.
like
So
gas. We don't look at the pump because we know we need gas in
yeah,
our car.
yeah,
So, like, I really haven't looked at a lot of things. But I also, and this is like during the pandemic and all of this, I cut out a lot of beauty supplies. Like, I cut out a lot of facial routines, all of the makeup. Like, I don't use any of that anymore.
really?
Because it's not a necessity for me.
Okay. So what do you do to make, like, what do you do in place of that? Like, do you make stuff? Do you watch videos or something, or you just like go without?
Water
Like,
and lotion. Just water and lotion. I hate saying that, and there might be a bunch of people that hate me for saying that, and they might say, like, no, that's not how it works. But for me, it worked. And that was just like, you're locked in your house for quarantine.
yeah,
And
yeah,
just trial and error. So your skin gets inflamed, all of that. You just deal with it. But eventually, water and lotion. And now I've been able to cut all of that out. And I look at that as more frivolous for me. So I don't need that in my life.
yeah.
But there hasn't been one particular thing where I'm like, damn, like, these avocados are expensive. Like, I haven't noticed one.
Well, I'll tell you what I noticed, whatever, and it's something that everybody loves, and obviously we know because there was headlines about this, but it's the price of chicken wings. Like, oh my god, like, do you know how much chicken wings? Like one, like, buying them, like, and I make them because I don't like, because if you go to a restaurant, there's a lot of restaurants that say, like, if you look at the wings, market price, and I'm like, this is not lobster, this is not fresh caught seafood, like, market price on chicken wings. Like, what is the market price? And then you get 12 wings and you spending $25, and you're like, damn, like, like, before, what happened to 50-cent wings, a dollar wing, shit, like, you know what I mean? So It's
They're
crazy.
still at Jackie B's apparently.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And balloons, depending on the day. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, I did notice that about chicken, but only in the respect of I can never find it anywhere.
Oh yeah,
Like
no, you can't find it. No.
I went through the air fryer phase
Okay.
where like I learned how amazing an air fryer is.
Yeah.
And I realized you could take a frozen chicken wing, season it well, pop that bad boy in the air fryer, and you got some really good dinner.
Yeah, you got some, like low key gourmet wings right there. Like,
yeah. You put a little flaky sea salt or something on it, and you're a top-notch chef. But I started noticing when I would try and get groceries, and there was no chicken wings available anywhere, and all you could get was chicken breast. I don't want a chicken breast. What's the chicken breast gonna do for me?
Well, remember when Wingstop, like, and I wish we had a Wingstop, but like, remember they, like, Rick Ross was like, it's thigh stop. You know what I mean? Like, they had to start. And I'm like, don't nobody want no thigh? Like what? Like,
if I want a thigh, I go to like Royal Farms or something, or Popeyes.
Yeah.
Like going there for that meat. If I want wings, I want wings.
I want wings, yeah. Like, and I don't think I realized how much I like. It's when I became an adult when I like really realized, like, yo, wings are amazing. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what I noticed. But it's sad to see though, because and what also too, getting back into the like economists or whatever, they're just talking about right now we're trying to avoid stagflation, which is high unemployment, inflation, and then slow like economic growth, whatever. And like that's like the worst case scenario, you know what I mean? And we're kind of, they say we're approaching it, but you know, spending is still kind of strong. Like people aren't buying like furniture now, but they're still traveling, they're still going to restaurants, whatever. But like I noticed, you know, that type of stuff is, you know, we might get hit, you know, pretty soon if things don't kind of change. And speaking of that though, like and I think that one thing that has effect on probably is people's well-being, right? Like maybe, you know, when people are stressed about money, yeah, I mean, maybe they're anxious. Yeah, I mean, maybe they get deeply depressed. You know what I mean, and things like that because they, you know, maybe whatever kind of field that they're working in, you know, maybe work is slow and things like that. So, it is Mental Health Awareness Month, whatever. And you know, talking about that economic horizon, you know, like I said, it has people kind of on edge, whatever. And you know, the headlines either like don't help, you know what I mean? Not even just when it comes to the economy, but obviously, you know, we had a couple catastrophes in the last like week or so, like nationally and then even locally, you know what I mean? Like a lot of things are going on, whatever. And I just, you know, it makes you think about all these different problems. You know, do you think politically there's a lot of issue, like there's a lot of things going on that are gonna make people on the edge, whatever, and you know, and are gonna make them feel some type of way. So as it is Mental Health Awareness Month, like what are some things that you do to kind of like, I guess, maintain your mental health, you know what I mean, and keep a level head, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you see me on any social media platform, my biggest caption is minding my business. And that took a lot of therapy, that took a lot of self-reflection to actually understand when I say minding my business, what that actually means. But like you think about everything that's going on in the world, and you think about what you have around you, this bubble that's around you, this sphere of perfection that is your space.
Yeah.
As everything's kind of weighing in on it, you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you can't control things, especially when it's something national, where it's very disconnected from you, but you feel empathetic towards it and you feel like a lot of things are happening. That could even happen locally. There are a lot of people that have passed recently locally that I may not know, but I know that affects a lot of the people that are around me. Yeah, so it kind of starts to pierce that bubble a little bit, and I protect my peace at all costs. I am my number one. Like I am the person that I need to protect at all costs. And obviously that changes as you have kids. You then have to extend that bubble and protect your peace even further because they are your peace. They're a part of your peace. But for me right now, no kids, by myself, like my bubble is my peace. And we had talked about it. Like I originally thought about doing this podcast at my house, but that's my peace. Like that is, I would like to protect that space. And even though it's recorded, it's over Zoom, you're not in my space, it's still someone viewing my space. So I like to protect that. And as costs go up, so like this is an example I give a lot. Yoga is expensive. I have never done yoga. I don't know that I ever will.
Okay.
But
Okay.
if it gets more expensive, the people that turn to things like yoga or cycling classes or whatever, they may not be able to afford that. So what you have to do is find the balance. What can replace your yoga? Is that a hike? Is that a meditation? Go on YouTube, find some meditation videos. Is that like finding your peace in another way?
Yeah.
Because I always compare it to someone that's suffering from mental illness and someone that has poor mental health. They are
Okay.
two very different things,
Okay.
but they could end in the same result.
Okay.
And that end result could be as drastic as suicide.
Ooh.
And what I like to say is that person that is dealing with mental illness, so let's just say bipolar, they may require lithium. They may
Okay.
require some type of medication. I'm not a doctor. I don't know all of the medications somebody with bipolar would need,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
know that they may require something to balance that. For somebody who has poor mental health, they may require orange juice or yoga or a dog or something like that. So it's a matter of finding what works for you. And for me, it is knowing what my boundaries are, knowing where that bubble is. And when I invite someone into that bubble, into that piece, I need to make sure that I have clear boundaries and I'm protecting myself at all times.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm being over controlling or trying to manipulate a situation. I am just trying to understand where my peace lies,
Yeah.
and maintain that distance.
Well,
And then reflect.
have you had people like accuse you of that? Like, you know what I mean? Like what you just said, like you said, like, thinking that you're, trying to control the situation or whatever. Like, have you had like anybody like, cause like, and that, like, I just think about it, like, you're saying protect your peace and things like that. It is tough because like you said, like things happen locally to people. You may not be directly connected to it, but yeah, if it affects the people around you, when we talk about things that are going on politically, whatever, like it's important to be in the know what's going on. But then but you also know, like if you watch, an hour of CNN or MSN, whatever, like it's going to bring you down. Like it's going to bring down your day, whatever. But it's like, yeah, how do you find that balance of like being like, and it's like it almost feels like, and not even like a conspiracy theorist, whatever, but it almost feels like it's by design. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to bring your peace down, you know what I mean? Whatever. And have you worried about all these things but it's like, but you do have to like sometimes stand up for what's right and whatever. But like all that type of stuff, like, I don't know. It's tough, man. It's just really tough.
It is. And like I've noticed it, boundaries are the hardest to place with family. Because you grow up with your parents, you grow up with siblings, and like when you're younger, you don't know really how to apply boundaries. And if your parents don't really apply healthy boundaries with you, one, for example, that happens often with a parent-child relationship is the parent will basically make the child feel like their feelings are not valid. Why are you crying? Why are you upset? You need to stop. So, and that happens very often. And there's nothing against a parent that does that. It's just more that you have to be self-aware of what's going on and what affects the child. So like you have trouble creating boundaries. When I went through the quarantine and COVID times that we're still living through, but during quarantine, I lived alone, I worked remotely, and that was when like my OCD became the worst it's ever been. I didn't even know I had OCD before quarantine. And I had to take time off of work, and I also had to take time off of my family. Because they were a big trigger for it. And that was OCD, panic disorder, anxiety disorder. And I had to distance myself from them. And the reason I had to distance myself from my family just a little bit, not much. I didn't go completely dark. They knew where I lived. They knew how to get in contact with me. But it was, I needed to learn how to create a boundary with them, a healthy boundary. And I also needed to know how to create a boundary that was not porous. So one that I could enforce. So for example, if you're a parent with a child, if you tell them, if you do not do this, this is the consequence, then don't switch it up. Like you have to live by your word. And it's really hard to do that when you're constantly around a group of people like your family where you never really had boundaries. You just kind of let things slide. It's the same with a significant other. You let things slide. You don't address them. You're very passive aggressive about it. And then one day you blow up and it's a big argument. And that's just because there was no boundary or a porous boundary. But I've also had conversations with individuals. I've lost friends over it where I've set a boundary and they couldn't respect that I set the boundary. And reflecting on that, it was a very clear-cut boundary. I don't want you to do this because it does this to me. And they could not reciprocate the respect.
Okay.
And
okay.
That's okay. That's perfectly fine. I am not expecting that someone's going to automatically listen to my boundary and respect my boundary.
Yeah.
What I can control is how I react to that.
Yeah.
So if two people naturally are no longer friends or no longer partners because of that, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I know that I did not have a porous boundary. So that took a lot. Like learning I'm an advocate of therapy. That took a lot of therapy. That took a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy for my OCD. And I felt like I couldn't go to therapy. I felt like I shouldn't go to therapy because I'm like, I'm over 30. Like, this is ridiculous. I should have my life in check. I should have my mental in check. And I had to humble myself and say, like, hold on, slow down, because you're not good right now. Like you're not good. You're having panic attacks in public. I had a panic attack in Target.
Really?
Like it was something as simple as I
no.
was trying to pick a pop socket. If you've ever gone to Target and you look at the pop socket
It's
wall,
too many.
there's like 60 of them, and I couldn't decide. And the OCD like took over. Now that does not happen anymore, thankfully.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of work that went into being as stable as I feel now. Not that it couldn't happen again if I don't continue to do that work. But yeah, I've lost friends. It happens, but it's all to protect my peace.
Well, so something like OCD, is that something that like needs like other than therapy, does it need like do they medicate for that? Because I don't know too much. I remember, people always say like when they're organized, OCD, like they use it cavalier and casual, like OCD, or they say they say words like bipolar. And it's like, no, that's a real diagnosis. I mean, like, so what? Like, I don't know, how do you deal with that? Like, do they medicate you, or is it just like kind of working through stuff? Like, okay,
yeah, no, at first I was medicated for it, and I went through therapy. So the medication, I always looked at it as it was a tool to help me go to therapy.
Okay.
So it was a tool for me to help me process like all of the feelings and all of like the rush of everything in my head. So it was the best tool that I had.
Yeah.
And I knew at a certain point I would stop using it.
Okay.
I knew that I had to stop using it because it was not the solution. It was a tool.
Okay. It almost became a crutch. Yeah. Like, all right. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. And then,
if you do it too long, yeah.
Yeah.
But that is not every really every mental illness, but for OCD and some other obsessive. So OCD manifests in different ways.
Okay.
For OCD specifically, panic disorder, anxiety disorder, general anxiety disorder, therapy helps severely.
Yeah.
Because you're breaking this like loop in your head.
Okay. And you don't feel no stigma like talking about that type? Obviously you're talking to me about it, but like you don't feel any stigma about talking about that type of stuff or anything like that? Like it doesn't bother you or nothing like that? Like
when I worked a corporate job, I did.
And
I had taken time off of my corporate job to go to therapy. So I saw a psychiatrist, I saw therapists, I was taking different medications every couple of months to try and figure out what worked. And at first I did because I felt like I was broken. Like I felt like something was wrong in my head and it shouldn't be.
Okay.
And I did not like speaking to anyone about it. So it was tough speaking to my family about it for sure.
Yeah.
Because they had grown up with me. Like they knew me from birth. And like, who are you? Who is this person? Like, you were never like this before. And that's okay. Like in the moment, it was not okay. I did not like those words. But I am at a point now where I love speaking about it because I want people to see like I'm not an example for anything. Like there's so many other better examples, but I love for people to see like it's okay to talk about it. And it's okay to deal with something like that and still be successful.
Yeah, no doubt. That's good. That's real good. And I like what you said though. You talk about protecting your peace and boundaries, whatever. And for me, I think I never. I'm pretty cognizant, and like I think I have a pretty decent intrapersonal intelligence in terms of like what I'm dealing with and my feelings and things like that. And like for me, the podcast like helps me. It's like it's therapeutic in ways. I mean, being able to connect with people. One thing, because I don't live back home. You know what I mean, but I live across the bridge. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in the 717. But like two, that help. That's a boundary too that I need because like I said, a lot of things. I'm a black male, you know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people that get involved with certain things, whatever. And like, I might not be directly connected, but like, I need that separation. Like, you know what I mean? I need that like 2 or 3 days before I hear about something, you know what I mean? Like, instead of like being right in it, whatever. And the thing is though, but also too, like, it's therapeutic to be able to connect with people that are locally, like every week and things like that, and kind of highlight and focus on the good things. And even when it comes to like some of the content, like I try to stay away from politics and stuff like that, because that stuff is like so draining. So and people might criticize and be like, oh, you talking about superficial stuff and entertainment, but like what we talk about it is like the human connection, and like how can we relate to these situations that maybe these famous people are going to, like not on the things that we can't control. We could talk about the things that it might not have nothing to do with us, but we can relate to it, and we could maybe help ourselves and build ourselves, and try maybe not to make those same like misturns or pitfalls that some people we see go through. So the podcast is definitely, for me, it's definitely
that's your orange juice, that's your yoga.
Yeah. Like I don't have, like you said, I might not have an illness, but like it's a way to maintain my mental health. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in a way, whatever. Because like being away, like for as many years I have been, being not like in the same town as my friends every day, like working with people that are not my friends, that don't look like me, you know what I mean? That can feel isolating at times, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, like being able, like being in the, not in the mix, like messy, but like being in the mix and knowing what's going on, it helps me like still feel like I'm there, even though I'm not there, you know what I'm saying?
And you also have control over like the messaging that you're seeing. Like we talk about, you put CNN on first thing in the morning, and you're gonna eat your eggs and toast and feel upset. But you have the ability to kind of funnel that in and filter it in. And I think that's part of why I love this job so much. And I love like being a business owner, because I have so much more control over like the influences that I'm seeing. Think about like your social media. You unfollow people or follow people regularly, and that's based on what you want to consume. And I go through like right now I'm following a lot of pottery things, because I think that type of art is amazing. I want to learn more about it. Not that I necessarily want to do it, but I like consuming that. I like seeing it. And that changes over time. Who knows what I'll be looking at on social media in a month or two, but we have control over what we're consuming. Definitely.
And that's a good way to think about it too. Like it doesn't have to be this, obviously, because it can be messy, but it doesn't have to be that, because you have total control as who sees your stuff, what you see, all that type of stuff. So that's good. So like that was a real good conversation there. Let's switch up to the Parliament though, man. Let's get into this this entity, this nonprofit organization. But like at first, I guess the first question is, for those that don't know, maybe you didn't see the episode with Brittany Nicole last summer. What is the Parliament? What is it?
Yeah, so the Parliament is the building that I'm sitting in right now. It used to be a house with a bunch of young people living in it and throwing like house parties and all kinds of other crazy things, but it was always arts focused. So we turned into a business 10 years ago. 2012 is when we became an official 501c3 nonprofit.
Nice.
So we're hitting a huge milestone, and we are doing things like having artists in residence like Brittany, having a gallery space and a retail space, doing amazing events like King Street Jam, or even like our weekly features out on the courtyard. So our Parliament on the Patio and Jazz Night. So like we try to focus around all types of art, but we are at our core this like incubator for artists.
Okay, so nice. I like that.
Yeah, and it's like they always say empowering artists, and that sounds like a bigger word than we need to use. Like we're truly incubating these artists. You come into this space with ideas, you come into this space needing a low-cost studio, and we are helping you reach whatever goal you have. We might not be able to achieve that. That might be a stepping stone. So you may need to start here and get a studio space somewhere else so that you can do more things. And that is what we have always been intended to be. But we grow into bigger things like King Street Jam, like working on a year-long series where we have people outside performing, and theater is something that we're adding this year. So downstairs, they're actually rehearsing for Drunk Shakespeare on the Rocks, which will be happening May through October. So like we're trying to get so much more art in this one little building, this 3-story building. But at our core, we empower artists, we incubate art and artists. We try to help an artist make money off of their craft.
Yeah.
So that's a huge one. Every artist, we don't want you to be a starving artist. We want you to be a successful artist. We want you to be a successful business owner.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about art, it's about business.
Yeah. But make your parents proud and regret them shunning you for majoring in art. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When they told you that you would never amount to anything,
right.
A doctor or a lawyer. Yeah, those types of things.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be struggling when you're an artist. Like, there are ways to go about it, but it's about having a solid foundation. So like, know how much to charge people and don't do things for free. Like, your talent is how you are compensated. That's your equation for money. Like, you that's your recipe to get paid. So know how to use that, because you should not do something without being compensated. But you should also know that, like, as an up and coming artist, like, you got to build, you got to grow, you got to talk to people, and start with a business focus.
Okay.
So if your contract with me is on a napkin, I'm going to look at that and say, let's work on that.
There's
good. A better way to do this. And that's really what we're trying to do here. It is, everybody says grassroots. It really is. As a nonprofit, like, we never know when money's coming in. And that's the part that really sucks, because you're a nonprofit. Like, it's terrible. We plan, we organize these events, but like, there are some months where we're just kind of like, dang, I just realized now we're a nonprofit, like, where it really hits you. And then certain months it's great. All the money's coming in, you're raising money. We just did Give Local.
That was big.
A couple weeks ago. We raised over $15,000 in one day.
That's crazy.
And that is just for this organization. That is all of our artists just, texting people. I was texting people. I was sending DMs saying, hey, you can donate as little as $5. And we didn't do anything grand. We just were trying to connect with as many people as possible and say, donate a little bit. Anything will help us. And all of that goes back to making sure people get paid. We can offer benefits and such. You can buy, toilet paper, paper towels, all of those other things on our Target run. And it's a lot of people don't understand what it means to be a nonprofit. We constantly have our hands out. And the reason our hands are out is because I have 3 floors of artists that I want to support. I have 4,000 people that will come out for King Street Jam, and I don't want to charge them a penny more than I have to. So like, I want low cost, accessible art. And to do that, we just have to keep asking for money. And I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at it.
That's good. That's good. So how long so you said when the organization started, but like, when did you get on board, and what influenced your decision to be a part of this nonprofit? Because, you obviously you had other jobs, whatever, I mean, you're a grown woman, I mean, I know you're educated and things like that. Like, how'd that come about?
During the pandemic, I was actually consulting. So I was an independent consultant for the Parliament, and I was helping them with the strategic plan. Because we had a conversation. I said, you guys are closed. Like, you can't sell any artwork. What are you going to do with your time? So let's use it well. Let's actually formulate a strategic plan and say, here's where we're going in the next 3 years. So that's what we did. And then they asked me to join their board of directors a few months later. So I joined their board of directors last January.
Okay.
I was on the executive board for 6 months. And then we found out that our current ED at that time was stepping down. And that was, I want to say, if I get my dates right, I think I found out on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. And then the transition happened that Monday. Like, it was, I didn't even expect it. I wasn't even asking for the job. I really tripped, fell, rolled into it. But I was the most qualified at that time. I had written the strategic plan. I had worked very closely with the executive director and the board president, Calvin Weary. It just made sense. And I will say, I did it for the love. I did it for Calvin, because he deserves all the support he can get. And I left my other job and I started doing this. I was actually working as a contractor for an IT contractor for the Department of Defense. And I left that and came to this job, and I've been here since June of last year. So
So
it's
you
almost the
left that
1 year
big
mark.
money. You left that big money for the love of YC. Bless your heart,
Yes.
girl. Like,
And it was my first government contract. And I was like, oh man, this is amazing, because it's hard to get government clearance
yeah.
as an IT contractor. And I want to say, like, the week my clearance came back is the week I gave notice. And I'm like, oh my goodness,
Oh
I was
my
on a
God.
2-hour phone call. They basically asked me everything about my life. I finally got my secret clearance, and then I left the job.
What? Oh
But
wow.
this is where I was supposed to be working. This is
Okay.
where I
Okay.
needed to be. I did pick up another contract while I've been working at the Parliament, and I started working for the state. So I was working
Okay.
for the Department of Health and Human Services. IT contract work, once you're in it, it's kind of easy to stay in it. And as I was doing that, I realized that I hated working for someone. Like, I
Oh.
had that taste of freedom. I had a taste of running the Parliament, running my own business. Why would I ever give that up? So
Yeah.
I ended up leaving that role again, because I don't need to be a contractor.
Yeah.
I would prefer to be happy in my protected bubble of peace than stressed out and looking at my life as a waste of time,
Yeah.
where all I'm doing is punching a clock. I would rather know that when I come in here and I work 12 hours, I have a lot of fun working at 12 hours.
Hell yeah.
Or
Talk
if
about
I
it.
decide to work remotely and sit in my backyard and enjoy the sun, that's the freedom that I've granted myself based on my choices.
That's good. That's good. So did York have like an artist incubator before the Parliament? Like, and for those people that don't know what incubator is, like if you think about tech, right? Think about Google, think about all these like web apps, whatever. Like they go to Silicon Valley, and then there's these basically sometimes they're just houses, whatever, you know what I mean? And it's just where these web developers can just go and they get funding, and they can just kind of basically make their ideas come to fruition, whatever. So that's essentially what they're doing, but kind of like in the art realm, whatever. But like, was there anything like this in York before? You know what I mean? Like,
There have always been places for artists here. So you have York Arts
okay,
Association, you have Creative York, you have the Cultural Alliance, but there has never been this one structure,
okay,
where we're doing all of it and connecting all of it at once, where you can come in and get advice on how to operate as a business. You can show in a gallery space, you can have a retail space, we can connect you with jobs in the city. There has never been one particular space that does it all. I'm not saying
ooh,
we do everything all the time, but we have the skill set in-house to help in all of those aspects. We also have a lot of relationships with places like the Cultural Alliance, with places like Creative York, the Grotto, like where we can connect people. We've had people leave our studio spaces to go to Creative York, to
yeah,
go
yeah,
to the Grotto. And it's just this network of people trying to thrive in York City.
okay,
But as far as incubators go, unless somebody tells me different, this
yeah.
is the only one that I know of, and past or present.
Talk heavy. I like that. I like that. You know what I mean? Yo, so how do you, if somebody wants to, because I mean, obviously you offer these residencies, which is, that's how you're incubating these artists and things like that. How does one get a residency? Is there like an application process? Are you guys just kind of scouting and just seeing like an omniscient, all seeing eye, like where you're paying attention, like, oh yeah, I want you, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, how's that work? You know what I mean?
It's a weird balance.
Okay.
So just to go off on a little tangent, I am very focused on DEI, or IDEA, which is diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll just say over the past few years, every organization has been focused on DEI, and that is, well, more than likely it's tied to George Floyd and all of the protests and everything that was
Okay.
going on. A lot of companies realized, some of our practices are discriminatory. Some of our practices aren't really inviting or inclusive.
Okay.
So I am very focused on that. I actually worked with the Fulton Theater as their president of their DEI committee, and that
Oh.
was last year.
Okay.
And I like to make sure that all of our practices at the Parliament are done with diversity in mind, yes, but with a clear, non-discriminatory practice. So I try not to like cherry pick, because I
Okay.
don't want someone to come back and say like, oh, well, you like them and you like their style, so that's why they're there. I want to give every artist the opportunity to apply. So we've started doing formal applications. We've started doing formal art calls, because then I can actually review it. And then I can make an executive decision, but I can also work with my board of directors. And I think that makes some artists nervous when we do that, when we say, hey, fill out this application, do this during this time, because they're not used to that.
They're used to like the free range of whatever. But
quick
no,
DM, you know this guy who knows this guy who knows this lady, so you performed for them one time and now you're in. And I love that York City is that close knit, that there are people that connect so many people. Like Calvin is one of them. Cal Weary knows everyone.
He's the plug.
He knows how to connect you to anybody. But when it comes to our organization, I need to make sure that every practice that we have in place is following a specific set of rules. There needs to be some clarity to it. So anybody can apply to be an artist in residence. I'd encourage anybody to look at our website, and that's parliamentyork.org. And on that site, we had our applications for King Street Jam. We had our applications for Parliament on the Patio. We have all of our forms on there because we want to collect it. And then once you submit with us, it's not like we reject and never look at it again. We will look at it, and when it comes to our studio spaces in this building, we keep wait lists. And our studios for the artists only go for 6 to 12 months. That's good. Not a very long waiting period. So an artist can they can do their residency for 6 months, and then they have an option of renewing it one more time. So at most they can be in this space for 12 months. And the reason we're doing that is I need an artist to be motivated to want to like grow out of this building. I want you to say like, there's a deadline. I gotta keep it moving, and I gotta do the next thing. So at most it's 12 months, and we already have a very good rotation of artists. I do know that we're going to have studio spaces opening in August. At minimum we'll have one. So I'd encourage anyone who is interested in becoming an artist in residence to do that. But you can also do your art calls. If you want to show in our gallery, you can do our art calls on there. You can submit it. If you don't find the form on there, send us an email. There's always a way to get it to us. But it's kind of an accountability thing. I need the artist to actually take the ownership of submitting, because nobody's just going to hand you anything. I try to hand out as many things as possible. Like I want to be that Mother Teresa that's doing everything and making everyone love them because of their grace and what they're doing. But I can't be. I need people to come to us. And that's how you get the word out on the organization. That's great. So last thing on the Parliament specifically, who is on the current roster right now? I mean, you already told me the time limit. You said 6 to 12 months, but who's currently on the roster right now? So we have Brittany Nicole, who she is very busy with work and a lot of other commitments. So she is not in this studio space very regularly, but she still is here. She has a photography studio here. We have Coco Chantel, who is one of our newer residents. So she started the past few months. Amasa, who I think you had on recently. Amasa has Pluto Mas. He is one of our 3rd floor residents. So right there we have a photographer, we have a performing artist, singer, and potentially vocal coach, depending on where she decides to take her residency. We have Amasa, who is a digital artist, and also a clothing designer. His Pluto Mas brand is amazing. And then we have Mika, who has Insatiable Melanin, and she's also a clothing designer. So those two people have created their own clothing brands from scratch, just from their own creativity and the resources that they had. And then we have Luz Marrero, she does henna, traditional painting, paint nights, face painting. There's probably more things that I'm not even thinking of. Glow body yoga on Mondays. So we have a little bit of everything in this space.
Nice. That's dope. That's really dope. I knew some of those people were on it, but it's funny because I've been in the Parliament several times. I've never actually been upstairs. I never was nosy enough to go up there. And I know there's been art galleries that you guys had, and you can go upstairs. I'm I don't, you know what I mean? So I gotta
you're invading somebody's space.
But
it's open. We want you to come around.
All right, well I'm gonna go check that out. And actually off camera, I'm gonna ask you about about, because you guys do like art shows, whatever. But I'm gonna ask you a question about something off the record. You know what I'm saying? But
we did install a second floor art gallery. So we have an artist that we just love his work so much, and he's retired and he just has too much art. So we actually took the one whole wall in our hallway, and that is a dedicated gallery to him. So we hang artwork on every wall. As you can see back here, every single wall will have artwork on it. And that's the point of it. If you go in our bathroom, there's a mural in our bathroom. Like, there is just artwork everywhere. Doesn't matter what floor you're on. So I'd encourage anyone to walk around when you're in this space. We give tours regularly.
Yeah. That's good. That's good. I love it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like Parliament is really doing some big things. Like I said, I've had friends in and out of there. I have associates. I've like I said, I've been to a couple of events, and like I said, I never seen anything like this. And maybe it helps because it's like people that I know, like that are in this space, whatever. And like it really is connecting the dots. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes locally and beyond. You know what I mean? So kudos to you guys, man, and everything you're doing. Kudos to Cal Weary, man. I think he's the GOAT, man. So I've been meaning to get him on here too, man. So we got to wrap with
You're
this
gonna
guy.
have to slate like 3 hours if you're gonna have.
Oh yeah, I know. I think he told me one time. He said, yeah, it's gonna be your most watched episode. I guarantee you. You know how he talks too. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he's a theater guy, but he will continue to go. So you'll just have to make sure that there's a stopping point.
Right.
Set that time limit on the Zoom.
Yeah, like, all right, bro. Yeah, bro. We had, it's enough, man. So, all right. So let's get to the main event, man. The main event, the big event that's happening coming June. The King Street Jam. All right. And this is, I believe, the third installment. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. And last year was such a successful event, man. Like it was like I never seen anything like that in downtown York. Like ever. Like a big stage like that. You got Maya, like you had and I had to cause I was there, you know what I mean? I was in attendance and George Clinton went. By the time he got on, my son was there for like 7 hours and he was like, it's Dad, I'm ready to go. So I was like, so I didn't get to see that, but I even heard that was amazing. And that was just a big spectacle. You had the 3 stages, you had all these local, it was amazing. I was like, wow, I cannot wait to see what happens next. You know what I mean? So what's in store for this year? What do we got?
Yeah. Well, first, thank you. Thank you for always being a supporter of the Parliament, but also thank you for attending. Thank you. I'm pretty sure I have a bunch of pictures from our photographers where you and your son are included on it. And
oh, for real?
Thank you for enjoying the event. Yes. I'll make sure you get them. But thank you for enjoying the event. And that was a tough event for me last year because I had started in June.
Yeah.
That event was in September.
Yeah.
And if you plan any event, you need more than 2 months of planning ahead. You need significantly more, especially when you're booking artists, booking flights, booking hotels, booking a stage, all of that. There's so many pieces that go into it that I don't think a lot of people understand. But I am so happy that event went well. I was on the side of the stage when Maya was performing, just crying, and it was all because there were so many people.
Yeah.
It was just crazy to me because you look at ticket sales ahead of time, and you're like, ooh, nobody's buying tickets.
Yep.
Nobody's buying them. And then you just get to the event and everyone is pouring in. And we had 3,800 people at that event.
Wow.
And it was just crazy to me that we could pull off such an amazing event. And that was just this tiny building. That's just this small group of people.
Yeah.
At that time, it was myself, my part-timer, Mika. We had 2 people that were volunteering pretty heavily for that. And Calvin, I don't know how we managed to pull that off the way that we did. And obviously we have Assorted Studios who handles all of the production aspects.
Yeah.
Thank you for attending. I really appreciate that. And
No
this
doubt.
year I'm even more excited. We're weeks away and I wake up in the middle of the night, thinking that it's time for King Street Jam and freaking out because things aren't done yet. But it's a stressful time.
You had a lot more time to play in this one though. You got 9 months maybe. I mean, to play in this one.
Plenty of time.
Yeah. Okay.
Contracts are lined up. Things are signed. Checks have been sent. We are in a really good place.
That's good.
And we just secured our last national act. So we have.
Did you announce that yet, or?
We did in a press release. But if
Well,
you weren't in that
okay, I
press
did
release-
see that. You talking about? Can you say it on here or no?
Yes, I can.
Okay,
So we
okay.
have Amerie, who
Yes,
is
yes.
one of them. But our last performing act that we announced was Onyx. So
Oh, for
Onyx will
real?
be-
Slam. Dun,
16
dun, dun.
yes.
What? And they just did the verses. I didn't see that verses, but
Yep.
wow. Okay, we're gonna have some
Yes.
rowdy brothers on the stage. Okay.
I'm a little nervous, but I think it's a good day. We also have Urban Guerrilla Orchestra that's coming in from Philadelphia. So they handle all of like the Soul Train cruises, which it changes the vibe a little bit. But the point of King Street Jam is it is 12 hours of music and art. There's not a specific genre that we rely on. There is not a specific type of art. And there's really not even a crowd that we're trying to serve. We just want everyone to come out.
Okay. Okay.
So we have 12 hours of music. Music starts at 10 a.m. We have Gigi Marrero DJing the entire event.
Nice.
We have a bunch of local acts. We are actually bringing some acts from Lancaster this year, and I'm really excited that we can cross the bridge and start to partner with some of those artists. We have a visual artist that's coming from Lancaster to do 2 large pieces during the day. He's a mural artist that teaches at PCAD and does a bunch of other design work. So Adam Serrano will be coming out to do that. Diz is going to be doing a live art piece. So he's also showing in our fine arts gallery.
Yeah.
So there's so much that's happening that day. But at a very high level, there's food trucks.
Yes.
There are vendors to shop at.
Okay.
There is the entire Royal Square district that is open, so you can shop at all of those merchants. So 20 plus merchants. We also have several restaurants in the area if you're not into food trucks.
Yeah.
We have one huge stage. And when I say huge, I mean they bring it out on a tractor trailer. The tractor trailer unfolds and it turns into a stage. It is massive.
And that's Assorted Studios that does that?
Assorted handles all of the sounds. And then we have a production company that brings out the stage. So they will handle all of the sound that day on that stage.
Okay, so this year is not, you're not going to have the 3 stages thing.
No.
Okay.
That was
fun. That was cool, but like probably was hard to like manage a bit. Like,
well, and yes, because you have to staff it more and everybody's running around, and then you have to play who's on first, like who's playing at this stage at this time.
Yeah.
But when I decided to switch it to one stage, it was because it is a disservice to an artist to perform on one of these tertiary stages.
Yes.
I want these artists on the same stage as our national acts.
Yeah, why
Even
not?
if you don't get to speak with Amerie or Onyx when they're performing or any of that, you are still performing on the same stage as them.
Yeah.
And that's the intent of King Street Jam. It is supposed to bring local, regional, and national together. So that's why we eliminated the multiple stages. And because of that, we now have a dedicated kid space. We have a chalk area. We still have our VIP lounge. We have a fine arts gallery that's inside. There is something to do the entire day.
So is it going to be the same I'm sorry. Is it going to be the same parameters like how it was last year? Like all through that? Okay, like was it Grant? Is that Grant Street or whatever? Or?
It is Mason, Howard, Newton, King, Queen, Princess.
Oh, Grant is that's a different part of town. My bad. Yeah, I know it was a last name. That's it.
Royal Square District. The whole Royal Square District is all blocked off. It is all fenced off. So if you're going down Duke, up King, up Queen, down Princess, all of that is blocked off.
Yeah.
And there's something to do in every corner. Nice. There's something for kids. There's something for adults. There's always beer and food. There's always specials going on. So there's something to do.
Nice. So there's more food vendors than last year? Because last year, I know, like I said, it was an upstart type thing. It was your first time, whatever. And there was a few, but it wasn't. I don't think it was enough. Like I think people was like, it was like pretty much 2 main ones. Yeah, I mean, and they probably sold. I remember. Shout out to Morales Kitchen. Like they was selling out. Like, but that, I know they loved it because they got a lot of business, but. It probably was overwhelming for them too because it's like like people taking their napkins and like stuff like that. So So
we knew that was going to be an issue.
Okay.
So when we were planning it, everyone had opened up. Like it was like the world had reopened and everyone was trying to do things. So food trucks were so hard to book. because they were already booked.
Yes.
Like they jumped at the first event that asked them
Yeah,
because they hadn't been working for so long. So we were lucky to get any, and we were canvassing different locations, all of that, to try and get people to come out. And luckily we had food options.
Yeah.
But this year there are 12 food trucks.
Whoa.
All the food trucks are lined up on King Street. So we have
that's major.
Have coffee, ice, I think shaved ice. We will have some Asian food. Liz will be there again, so she has her Hispanic food. We have Taqueria El Camino that's going to be there. We have a little of everything for 12 of them. And I think that will encourage people to stay at the event.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. That's made, because like y'all did like King Street. There was a lot, y'all had like a little bit of a kid space there, but like I when I was looking at it, I was like, man, there should be food trucks, boom, 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 line back to back. But like I said, you gotta put yourself out there, you gotta try it and then get better, you know what I mean? So that's, oh my God, 12 food trucks? All right, yeah, I definitely gotta be there.
Yeah, there's 12 food trucks, all of the restaurants are doing specials. There is, speaking of kid space, there's a full parking lot for kids.
Okay.
So Atomic Bounce is coming out. They're going to do spin art, face painting. They have inflatable slides. They have giant Jenga. It's a full parking lot. You can sit at Collusion, watch your kid play. Like it's a fenced in area. Your kid's already like in the footprint of the event. So you could just sit, drink, eat, watch your kid play. There's a chalk art area. So we are trying to make it we're trying to make it so that you don't want to leave the event. You want to come in for 12 hours and hang out.
Nice. And okay, because I was just like enamored because since I experienced it, I know what to expect, and like all right, wow, this thing is so. All right, so let me get back to the questions. All right, so dang, that was good. I'm excited. I'm so excited now. Like I'm hyped now. So
I'm excited. So yes.
So what is the process of like? So when I'm talking about like the national and regional acts, like what's the booking process? How the heck do you get Amerie? How the heck do you get Onyx? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that Cal Weary? Does he know these people or something? Like, what the heck? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you can do it one of two ways. So like you can work with a booking agent who has all of these connections already. And there are a lot of fabulous booking agents.
Okay.
So like shout out to Smash for being able to book all of the talent that he does because he's amazing at it. What we had to do for this year is I had to take on that role. And the reason I did that was because we needed to save money. Because last year, that event isn't a profitable event typically because it's a festival. It costs a lot of money. I just told you a stage is on a tractor trailer and it opens up. It's expensive.
Yeah, that's.
So we had to find ways to save money this year, and we had to stay to a very tight budget.
Okay.
So I actually connected with a booking agent for one artist that had reached out last year. And he said, I have to play at this. He's coming from New Orleans. His name's Alfred Banks, and he's an amazing artist.
Okay.
And I'm excited that he's coming up for this event. But he said, I have to connect with you. I have to figure out how we work together. And I started working with their booking agent, and it's just asking questions. Who do you have? Who's available? What's the price range? Because if I were to say to you, like, we're going to book Maya, you probably have no idea how much Maya costs. Like, if you say name a price, I'm going to Google it. And Google's not always accurate. So you work with that booking agent and you just send offer after offer after offer. And you have to keep things in mind. Like if I pay an artist $10,000 to come here, for example, so I pay you 10 grand to just perform. So that's 10 grand. You're performing 30 minutes as a track artist, whatever. There's also flights, hotels, there's hospitality.
And you guys cover all that.
That's what you negotiate. So as you're working with booking it, you have to find what their rider includes. So there's a rider, and then a hospitality rider. And you review that and you say, okay, I can do this. I can't do this. I'm not going to pick fresh flowers and put them in your room. I'm not going to do this, but I can do this. So things like that you have to negotiate. And you just have to know that $10,000 is just your starting point, because that 10,000 could end up being 15 or 20, depending on what their asks are. And if they want 6 bottles of Hennessy that day, I need to know that so I can provide it in the room. Because I don't want that artist to come in and say, you didn't supply what I asked for, I'm
Yeah.
not performing.
Yeah.
Not that that has happened, but we got to cover all
Yeah, you
bases.
gotta cover your. Yeah, definitely. Wow. Okay. So booking. Okay, that's good. That's dope. That's. I mean, and that's just some food for thought for people that are trying to other events. You know what I mean? If you think you got the budget, you know what I mean, to pull something like that off. And like, are you guys getting like, now I'm digging into the finance. Like, are y'all getting like a grant or something like that? Like, where the heck is this? Is this all the stuff that you just raised over the course of the year? Is that where that's coming from?
Yes and no. So we
Okay.
do raise money for this, but we ask for sponsorships, and that's
okay.
that is, I will put your logo anywhere at this event. You tell me where you want your logo. Like you look at ad placement on movies, and like that person is just perfectly holding that bottle of Deer Park. That Deer Park has paid for that to happen. So like we are trying to be smart about sponsorships, because yes, we do get grants for things, and yes, we do have major sponsors. So one of the Parliament's major sponsors for this event is Powder Mill Foundation.
Okay.
And so when Louis Appel was still alive, that was Royal Square District, the Parliament, and what we were doing and furthering our mission was important to him. So we do still have the support of the Powder Mill Foundation. So they are a heavy supporter of King Street Jam.
Okay.
But I go on the websites and I say, what sponsorship opportunities do you have? I hit up the banks, I hit up everyone and say, hey, if you give us $1,000, I will put your logo in 4 different places, and here are your options.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of what we do for this. We've been fortunate that a lot of our sponsorship for this is covering the operational expenses. So we are working smarter this year.
Okay.
And that means that these businesses are also buying into the idea of what King Street Jam is.
Yeah.
Like they are sponsoring it. They want their name on it. I don't want my name on just anything.
Yeah.
Like if my name will be on it, I want to believe in it. I want to.
Yeah, don't put it on the porta potty. You know what I'm saying? Put it.
I will though. If somebody wants it, I will.
Okay.
It's an option. Sponsorships are still open.
Right.
But yeah, it's a matter of like, it's a matter of working with them and saying like, where do you want visibility?
Yeah.
If you're a kids-based organization, I will put your logo all over the kids area.
Yeah.
Like if you are arts based, I will put it in the art gallery. If you service like a higher income clientele, let's put your logo in the VIP lounge.
Yeah.
And that's really like the salesman in me. Like I have to be a better salesperson to say like, we can put your logo there. We can do it here. We can put it here. If you're a beer provider, we'll put it on the boards that say no alcohol beyond this point. Like we will do those different things.
Nice.
And it's also bartering. Like you want to give me tables. So the city of York is a sponsor for this, and they are donating tables for the event. So it's like, we got to do those types of things, and we have to work with them on where I put your logo and what you give me in exchange.
Yeah.
We're also partnering with Resource York. They will do, it's a smash area. So you get a beer, you get a cup. When you're done drinking the beer, you get to actually break it.
Okay.
So like that, where it's just a fun activity. I get your logo out there, I get your name out there, and I have entertainment for my audience, for the people that are coming.
Okay, dope. All right, so I got something else to ask you, and it's an opportunity maybe for you to set the record straight, you know what I mean, publicly for people, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna talk about local artists now, right?
Okay.
So obviously, on social media, I mean, a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, whatever, there was a little controversy. Some people were vocal, some local artists were vocal, because last year there seemed to be a lot of local artists included, and even added up, like they got added to the lineup, maybe right up until the last minute, right? You know what I mean? And so, a few artists that either performed last year or didn't get a chance, you know what I mean, have been vocal, and they feel that the lineup in terms of the local artists isn't representative of our local scene, right? So can you tell us about what changed about the process when it comes to local acts this year as opposed to last year? I mean, like I said, just the because I kind of know, I'm in the know a little bit, but I don't think I for whatever reason, I don't think people know, like, because because this is for us, this is for local, and you want people to come, but like you also don't want people to have bad blood for no reason, you know what I'm saying, like whatever. So can you speak on that? Like what changed about what changed about the process this year in terms of getting people on?
So I think I touched on it earlier. Like we are trying to be a little more strategic
Okay.
with how we are taking these applications. And so there were applications open for it. Those
Okay.
applications were open late January, and then we did post when they were closing. We booked differently. So last year we had a booking agent and it was Smash, and he was able to gather the talent. But keep in mind, that was a month and a half, 2 months before the event. So we just needed talent. We needed to fill the lineup.
He was like not to diminish him, but he was like an emergency type, like go to guy. Like, yo, I need something right now. Boom, put it together, and then he did. He did. He delivered.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. 1000%. And I think, and that it's a disservice to us, because if we don't have a firm practice up front, it comes to bite us at the end, and it happens. We're trying to be better at how organized we are when we're doing these art calls. So we had an application out. We want our artists that are in this community. And I'd like to be very clear, when we talk about this community, it is not just York City.
It
is York County. We are looking at Lancaster, Harrisburg.
717.
Yes. There's more to York County. There's more to the Parliament than just this little block that we're in.
Yep.
And we wanted different types of artists. So for example, Latinx artists, or if we have a Latin reggae group, like we didn't feel like they were well represented last year. So we intentionally found an artist that applied that was Latinx, that we liked their style, and that is Blue Jay. And this person specifically, they reached out, they said, I need to perform. We said the same thing we said to everybody: fill out the application. Here's the link. So every artist that's on this lineup has applied to perform. And yes, there were other artists that did apply that didn't get to perform. And we found other events that they could perform at if they fit into the genres. But realistically, it's some accountability on both parts. We have to be firm in our practice, and we want the artists to also seek it out. We can't just broadcast it everywhere all the time. It's not possible. Follow us on social media. Email us. Come into the Parliament. Make friends with us. Like, if you are a friend of the Parliament, and that does not mean. But
that's in music. That's what music is. It's all relationships. You can't just think that you're gonna give first dibs. Like, so that's fair. I mean,
and we're just trying to be. It's our 10-year anniversary. We're just trying to do things right. And I don't want. Obviously, I don't want to exclude artists. We went from 3 stages to 1 stage, so our lineup shrunk a little bit. And when you see it, like we have track artists, so like they're doing a 15-minute set, and changeouts are quick. So like we're moving through this event, and we do have 18, I believe, acts, but there are shorter sets, and there's not as many bands, but there's a mix. It's half bands, half track, and we have a variety of genres. So we have funk, we have pop, we have alternative rock, Latinx, reggae rock. We have, if you want to call it hardcore rap, if we talk about Onyx, we have soul. So the lineup is never specific to one genre. And it's also further than York City. And we're just trying to empower artists in as far of a reach as we can have. But I would encourage everyone to go out and read more about what we're doing and connect with us.
So because I think because like I said, I had an artist on here, and we talked. It was funny because in our interview, I'm like, yo, King Street Jam, you gonna do that again, whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, they're organized, they're gonna reach out to us, whatever. But like he didn't mention anything about application process, whatever. But then I have one of my best friends, Uncle Rob. He was like, damn, I forgot to he knew about the application. He was like, damn, I forgot to fill out the application. So like obviously somehow there was some type of disconnect. You know what I mean? I don't know if it was marketing, but like you said, like you feel like you can't really get it out there. Is there? I don't know, but like I these type of experiences, it can. Like I said, there can be maybe some type of stopgap or something to kind of maybe improve that, whatever. Maybe you bring back one tertiary stage for those. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what. I mean, I'm not a consultant. You know what I'm saying? So, what I mean? But
we can do things better, like sign up for mailing lists. Like email is so easy because that's how we as a business operate. But we also post on our social media. So follow those pages, share them So if you are connected to a bunch of other artists, it is so easy to just share a post to your story. That's how a lot of people heard about it. Share it and tell people about it. Like, you have to be as much of an advocate for getting these people on the stage as we are for paying them properly and getting them on the stage. So I am going to hold firm to, we will continue the application process. Next year's will be the same thing, but I encourage everyone to apply because King Street Jam is huge. And just because you perform one year does not guarantee you a slot the next year.
Okay, facts.
We only have a handful that were performing last year. We brought in some new blood because there are so many talented people in York County that I need to be able to highlight them all in some way. So, I mean, to squash it, we had an application. If you didn't apply, I am sorry if you didn't see the posts. And we're going to be more active on social media for things like this, but I also want more people to engage with it and share it out.
Definitely. Hey, you know what I mean? Like I said, like you said it well. You said it well. You know what I mean? And it's nobody's fault necessarily, but it's just about the doing your due diligence, but then also too understanding this year, obviously it was condensed. Not everybody, and like you just said, I didn't realize that either. Like, I would assume, you know, maybe when it comes to local artists, if you applied and, you know, you got a good catalog, you got selected, but you're saying some people didn't even make the cut. Like, there might be people that applied that didn't even get selected.
But what you just said is important. So, like, do you have a catalog of music? Do you have a press kit? Do you have anything to show for yourself? Because our application is going to ask for things like that. It's going to ask for links to things, because I can't put you on a stage sight unseen. I need to know, like, do you have professional photos? Have you performed elsewhere?
Yeah, because you need a headshot for the marketing and all.
You're doing a disservice if you don't have that already as an artist. Like, you need to market yourself. And that's part of what we do here, but that's also what we look at when we're looking at these applicants. So if there's a lot of stuff that's missing, I might not be able to move it along because I don't see that this artist is at the performing level of King Street Jam.
Yeah.
And they might be.
Yeah.
In person, they might be, but on paper, they may not be. And it's just like any job interview, right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to apply for the job. You got to follow up. You send your thank you notes. You apply when the job comes up. There is no difference in being a performing artist and working for any other company. You got to apply.
Yep. So artists, just because this is a local event does not mean this is not a professional event. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, you know, a chance for exposure. You know, you got to have your ducks in a row. That's what it sounds like. You know what I mean? And that's for your benefit too, because you want people to click on your name and find your music and this and that, whatever. And like I said, maybe, you know, tap in with the parliament, you know what I mean? Shout out to DJ Smash for everything that he did last year. Shout out to Echo. And Echo, when I had him on, he gave y'all a big shout out, man, because there was this I remember even after King Street Jam, there was like controversy where people felt like it was a Smash event, and he said the record straight on my podcast and said, no, this was the parliament. This was the parliament's event. Smash was a part of it, you know what I mean? He definitely did. He had a job, he had a role. But this was the Parliament's event, you know what I mean? And no harm, no foul, you know what I mean? Shout out to y'all and everything that y'all doing, man. And like, this is an amazing opportunity, man. It's the biggest thing that we've ever seen, because the York Fair ain't doing this. Like, no really shade, no shade.
The fair, but they're not.
They not doing this. You know what I mean? They have contracts, and they look, their talent, whatever they booking is mostly country artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, they not looking. I ain't see a black person perform at the York Fair since B2K, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, you know, you know, and that's neither here nor there.
And that's even, like, Smash is doing amazing things to bring those types of artists out.
Oh, yeah.
I love every single one of his events, and I love what he's doing for our city. But when we talk about, like, who's giving money for us to do King Street Jam, you know, like, these people want this reach to be further than just this 5 square miles.
Yeah.
Like, we want this to blow up. We want people to say, I'm not going to something in the water this year. I'm coming to King Street Jam. Number one, it's cheaper. Number two, they got dope artists on the lineup.
And we talked about why things need to be cheaper, because the economy is crazy, and that's maybe more the reason why we need to pour into the local economy of things. You know what I mean? And you know, like I said, entertainment is, I mean, you could get some good, entertainment at affordable prices if you stay local and build that up. You know what I mean? That's what all this is. That's what it's all about. It's all
local shopping, local artists.
Yeah.
All of that.
I mean, all that
it's
synergy.
A good relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Good. Yo, did you have a good time tonight?
I did, yes. I'm glad you didn't hit me with any questions I didn't know the answers to.
Oh, you were, super informed, very well spoken, and that's you. That's you. You always been like that, you know what I'm saying? So that's good. So yeah, before we go, I guess let's plug the King Street Jam. What tickets, prices? Where can people go? What's up?
Yeah. So King Street Jam, I don't think we've actually said it. King Street Jam is June 18th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. I would encourage anybody to follow our social medias because we will be doing promos and giveaways leading up to it up until the hours that the events are happening.
Okay.
So I would encourage people to keep up with us on social media so you can see all of that. General admission is $25 at the gate. So the day of the event is $30. So you can just walk up and get your ticket. And then VIP is $100.
Get that VIP, y'all.
So VIP includes free liquor, some free desserts. You're going to have a VIP lounge area. There's formal seating in that lounge area now.
Oh.
Big TV screens so you can actually see the event streamed in the VIP lounge.
Wait, time. Where's this VIP lounge at?
It is in the Royal Square Garden. So if you are across from Collusion, so if you're looking at a Collusion, there's an outdoor area that has a pavilion.
Where the bathrooms are, where the private bathrooms are.
Yes. So private bathrooms are included in VIP.
Yes,
so VIP
we know that.
is very different than it did last year.
What? Well, even because my mom, she, I did a giveaway and I gave one out. My mom won. She was one of the winners. You know what I mean? I did it fair. You know what I mean? She won. You know what I mean? And she was like, yo, she's all in. She's like, I'm going again this year. I'm getting VIP. Yeah. She was like, it was so convenient because just being at least in the stage, she was like, yeah, I don't want to have to because when we looked, it was crazy because we was in the VIP section and when we looked behind us when Maya was performing, we was like, God damn, there's so many people here. There's so many people here. So yo, get that VIP. Yeah, I mean, it's worth it.
VIP. It also includes this year free chair massages, hand massages, and paraffin wax dip. So we have a luxury mini spa hiatus that will be coming out for 5 full hours. It is first come, first serve. I've been to festivals. I don't know any festival that has a VIP lounge where you get free massages. So for $100, that is super cheap. Yeah. And I will make sure that you have tickets for a giveaway, that you and your family have tickets to come. So we'll make sure people have tickets, but tickets are on sale now. You can go to kingstreet.com. Events June 18th, and I'd encourage people to buy tickets early. If you're going to get VIP, you better buy them early because we're only selling 500 of them. Oh, get that VIP. Yeah. Hurry up. Act now. Act now. This ain't no infomercial, but act now. You know what I mean? So that is what's up. Oh my God. Yo, this was great. This is a great interview, great conversation. It's like I said, it's for us, by us, you know what I mean, type stuff, you know what I mean. And I guess, on social media, before we go, matter of fact, audience, if you're still watching, you know what I mean, you need to subscribe, hit the like button. Like I said, she's giving you all the information for King Street Jam. Buy those tickets ASAP, they're not playing around. This is a worthwhile event, you know what I mean? Probably, like I said, the best thing I've seen in this area, in the 717 since I can remember, you know what I mean, whatever. So where can people find you on social media, or do you want people, I guess, where can people find you? People can find the Parliament at Parliament Arts York on all social media. You can find me on social media, and it's just _ Delia. Okay. Gonna get more content on the Parliament though. Yeah. We'll put the and we're gonna put the Parliament stuff up on when this episode comes out. It's gonna be Parliament, whatever. We don't want people doxing you and getting all in your business, whatever. So it's a public page too, so I really don't want any of that. Right. So that's what's up. I appreciate your time. You know what I mean? I appreciate all the information you gave. This kind of worked out really well. So yeah, I'm glad it went well. Thank you. Hey, yo, y'all. This is another episode of 280 Plus Podcast, y'all. We out. Peace.